If you're thinking about moving to Toronto, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the pros and the cons of living in Cabbagetown in Toronto. So let's get straight into it. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living and moving to Toronto, then you're definitely going to want to click that subscribe button and tap that bell notification so that you can be in the know of everything when it comes to Toronto. My name is Azeredo, and we get calls and emails daily from people just like you who are looking to make that move to Toronto, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, you're definitely going to want to click that link in the description box down below. Fill out our call form so that we can help you make that smooth move to Toronto. So like I said, we're going to be discussing the pros and the cons of Cabbagetown today. Let's first talk about the cons. Con number one is going to be construction. This neighborhood is in the downtown core of the city, and that is why construction can be a norm in this area. So there will be constructions at different times of the year, and that's because this area in particular just keeps on growing, and they keep on improving it, and they keep on adding different buildings and things of that nature. So because of that, just like a lot of downtown neighborhoods, there is going to be construction. The good thing is that they are improving this area and they are developing it, which is always a plus as well. So keep that in mind. Con number two is going to be traffic and limited parking. So like any kind of downtown neighborhood, traffic is always going to be an issue, especially during peak hours on main streets. Now, the in-streets of this neighborhood are very quiet and very good, easy to get around in, so that's nice. But it's those main streets, so coming in and out of this area is going to be a lot harder just because it is downtown. There is a lot of traffic, especially in peak hours. Now, same thing with parking. Parking on these main streets are going to be hard, right? And because of that, parking is limited. Now, in the in-streets, you will find parking, which is always great. So it's kind of like a balance of both, but I do want to mention that during peak hours, these main streets do get busy. On number three is going to be the noise level. Anytime you are close to the city center, the noise level is always going to be a little bit higher, right? So compared to other neighborhoods in Toronto that can be very quiet, this one is not going to be that one. Now, it's not the worst one in terms of noise level, but because it is a downtown neighborhood, the noise level is going to be much higher than other parts of Toronto. So just keep that in mind. The last con is con number four, which is schooling options. While there are schools in this area, the preferences and the options are more limited in this neighborhood in particular. There are a lot of elementary school options, public school and Catholic school, but you won't have other options like private school, for example, or high schools. That kind of thing is a little bit more further out. It's not like walking distance. So you will get walking distance for elementary schools, but in terms of like high schools or, university is not too bad because you do have, UFT, Ryerson, because you're in the downtown core, they're not far away. So that's a plus. But I would say high schools are more further out. They're not necessarily in Cabbagetown. So in Cabbagetown, the only schools you're going to find are elementary schools. So it just depends what you're looking for. And then obviously in terms of options, there is really only public schools and there's one Catholic school, so you're not going to find private schools in this particular neighborhood. But again, there are other options not too far away, so just something to consider. Now we're going to move on from the cons to the pros. Let's go on to pro number one, which is housing options. In this neighborhood, you do have a lot of residential homes, but you also do have other options like condos, apartment buildings, things for rent. So you have a lot of different options in this neighborhood. And while the homes can be a little bit more pricey, you will find a lot of well-priced apartments and rentals in this neighborhood in particular. So if that is something that you're looking for, you might consider this neighborhood for that. Pro number two is going to be diversity. This area is definitely a very diverse area in the downtown core neighborhoods. It is definitely one of the most modern places to live in Toronto today. The diversity is very obvious just by seeing the amount of different people in this neighborhood, the different types of food and shops, and all the different things that you're going to see in this neighborhood. And one thing also to note is I remember doing some research on the schools in this neighborhood, and a lot of these students, these schools, they represent like 15 plus languages because there is so much diversity. So that is always a really good plus. Pro number 3 is going to be transportation. Cabbagetown is very well connected. You can have access to the subway, to different buses, and so it's very easy to get around the city, especially because you're so close to the core. So it's super easy to get around the city with transportation, whether it is car, subway, train, bus. You have all those options here in this area. For all my drivers out there, there is also the beauty of the fact that you have 2 highways next to you. One is on the east side of this neighborhood, which is the Don Valley Parkway, and then in the south, you have access to the Gardner Express. So it's going to be very easy for you as a driver to get around as well, especially because you're so close to the highway if you do need to get out of the city. Pro number 5 is going to be arts and culture. Cabbagetown has a very vibrant art scene. There is tons of street arts. There is also so many different galleries and different cultural events. And that is why this neighborhood is actually known for having a lot of different artists and writers and authors as the residences of this neighborhood, because it is a really big art scene of Toronto. Cabbagetown has an active BIA that hosts community events such as the Cabbagetown Festival, Movie in the Park events, and art walks, among others. Pro number 5 is going to be food and shopping. There are so many independent shops and restaurants that line up on Parliament Street, which is a very popular street in this Cabbagetown neighborhood. There is no question that residents love to support local businesses in this area. There are so many cool, unique finds on this street. Pro number 6 is going to be green spaces. There are a lot of parks in this neighborhood, whether small or big, and some of the really big exciting parks is of course the Riverdale Park. Now if you go to the Riverdale Park East area, you're gonna have the most amazing view of the city, and this park is enormous. There is so much to do here, whether there is, places for kids to play, whether there is, sports, different sports that you can play there because they have different courts and all of that good stuff. And then of course there's hiking trails, so you could go hiking, and there is just so much to do here. Cabbagetown is home to the one-of-a-kind Riverdale Farm. If you're looking for something different to do with the family, touring this unique attraction should be high on your list. At this working farm, you can visit livestock, explore over 3 kilometers of trail, and take a step back in time with the visit of the historic farmhouse. If you guys want to explore this neighborhood even more, I did a whole live tour, so you're definitely going to want to check out the farm and other things here in this video right up here. Pro number 6, the unique, beautiful homes. Cabbagetown is truly known for its unique heritage architecture. In fact, it has North America's largest collection of preserved Victorian homes than any other place in North America. So if Victorian homes is your type of style when it comes to home styles, then you're absolutely going to love this neighborhood. It is truly like no other, and you're not going to ever find a neighborhood that has more Victorian homes than Cabbagetown. So that is going to be all the pros and cons for Cabbagetown. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and leave a comment down below and let us know what you liked best. If you are looking to move to Toronto or even move to this neighborhood, then you're definitely going to want to reach out. All of our information is in the description box down below. Also, click on our call form, fill that out, and we will give you a call back so that we can help you make that smooth move to Toronto. If you want to see the actual tour of this neighborhood, then you're going to want to click this video right here. And until next time, guys, see you around the city, and God bless.